gentlemen.
All right. Welcome to B-Movie Battles, Episode 2. How's everybody doing? You guys ready to watch some schlocky movies? Yeah. All right. So let's get right into it. Now today is a little different. I don't even know what movies we're watching because you guys are going to pick them out. So please hold the mic a second.
Yes, I can.
So today we have the Bag of Mystery, or the B Bag. The Bag of B, I'm not sure what to call it. So, Aaron, if you want to hold the mic for me a second.
There's no actual bees in here, right?
Not that I'm aware of. All right. So, Dan, go ahead and select the first movie we will be watching today. Feel around. Make sure it's a good one. Oh. Show the camera.
Mysterious Island.
I'm excited. I see Patrick Stewart popping out of the corner of that. So if you just want to read the back of that.
Escaping from a Confederate prison camp by Balan, 5 survivors land on an uncharted island in the Pacific. Far from being a sanctuary, the island is home to carnivorous monsters, bloodthirsty pirates, and the mad genius, Captain Nemo, who inhabits the mysterious island for his own strange ends.
Wow. Sounds like a winner. All right, Sasha, if you want to select the next one. Oh, boy.
This one we have Slipstream. Oh, Bill Paxton and Mark Hamill? No way! Give us the prize right now. Okay. Byron. Oh, Bob Peck. Yes. Gregory Peck's brother. Bob Peck is an android on the run because he's wanted for murder. Tasker, played by Mark Hamill, is the bounty hunter who apprehends him. While stopping at a remote cantina, they meet up with Matt Owen, who's Bill Paxton, a jack of all trades who steals Byron from Tasker so that he can collect the reward money for himself. It's like Star Wars over here. Matt and Byron fly off into the Slipstream, a dangerous wind current that was created by man's destruction of the environment, of course. Tasker and his partner, Beletsky, are right behind them, ruthlessly destroying everyone in their path. Together, Byron and Matt develop an unlikely friendship as they travel through remote settlements, meeting up with a religious cult that worships the Slipstream and a secret enclave of aesthetes.
I don't know.
What? It's like aesthetics and athletes. So
That is made up a word, apparently.
aesthetes, like mathletes. Eventually, Tasker and Beletsky catch up with Matt and Byron, bringing Slipstream to its explosive climax. That sounds vaguely sexual.
So we have Mark Hamill and Bill Paxton versus Patrick Stewart and probably some people we've never heard of. I'm a little afraid this one might be actually good.
Yeah,
So
it's like a real movie.
it might be, but I've never heard of it ever, and it has Bill Paxton in it, so it should be pretty bad.
Wow.
What year was your movie?
We have 1999.
1999? Oh, geez. And your movie?
2008.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But this one's rated violent.
It's rated violent?
Yeah,
So not rated,
not rated
violence.
violence.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's go watch them, and we'll be right back.
We got the notepad.
Oh.
But I remembered it.
Oh, man.
A
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Poison jar. Now drop the gun and we'll talk about getting you the antidote.
I never believe a man staring down the barrel of a gun.
Well, you should this time.
Duck or bleed!
Man, you're strong.
Yeah.
Find him instead, Armstrong.
This junk must be worth a fortune.
Listen, how to reawaken his consciousness.
On business affairs, I travelled with him. We played chess together and had long philosophical discussions.
How romantic.
He was quite content to be alone.
Keep that light shining in your eyes, baby, so I can find my way back.
like made for TV. My boy.
Yes, it's gonna be great. Is this like one of those Hallmark?
Oh, I hate
That's
it
basically
already.
like, it's basically like beef.
Everything's okay. That's not that
I'm gonna enjoy this movie.
Holy crap! Look at the banana.
I hope you find it lobster delicious.
Joseph tells me that you repaired my generator.
How do you crack that call?
Yeah,
It's
right.
amazing, really. You're able to produce electricity from seawater.
Like a big steam engine.
Represent
claw
seawater.
cracker.
Like a drill.
Sodium chloride. That and hydrogen is all I need.
Yeah, you don't have to crack it up. You just reach in that hole and rip out the meat.
Real amazing.
And they're just gonna stand there.
Oh, it's a chameleon.
And they're gonna keep standing.
Oh, what's the other thing? A tortoise? Oh, there's a bigger one.
His foot just.
They spit the food out, and he has to stand there too. I love it.
Oh, that's good. A little tongue action.
That was good. I like that.
Yoga Mountain. Yoga Mountain.
I'm alright with that.
Reach for the hills.
Real American hero. Yoga Mountain.
So we survived the viewing
Yes, we did.
of these two wonderful movies.
Oh, they were great.
So now the fun, we get to see which movie you guys get to fight for. So Dan called it last time. Aaron, you get to call it in the air, heads or tails. Heads will be Mysterious Island. Tails will be, what was it, Slipstream?
That's how good it
That's
was.
how great it was. So heads and tails.
Okay.
When it's in the air.
Tails.
Tails. You guys get Slipstream. And you guys get the Mysterious Island.
Damn it. But it's got Cupid
So-
and brother. Snow dogs.
That's all it's got.
Snow dogs. That's all I got.
So let's just start off by saying that these movies were pretty much the bottom of the barrel.
They were really
I'm not gonna pull any punches here. They're both really bad. Like we barely made it through these movies, but you guys won the coin toss. You got the better choice of the two horrible
We'll
movies
call
here.
it a
So
better
if you,
choice,
if you
yeah.
guys want to go
We'll
ahead
call
and
it
just
better.
kind of give a brief synopsis of what happened in the movie, if you can
Yeah.
even make sense of that movie.
You guys need my notes, or you good?
I think we're good. I'll start off here. So, yeah, like you said, the thing about the plot was there wasn't much of a plot to begin with.
Right.
No, not at all.
So what it basically was is it's sort of like a chase movie, and there is a robot, and he's been captured by Mark Hamill's character. Mark Hamill's character has a female companion that they've hunted down this android for like months and months.
Yeah.
They capture him, and then for whatever reason, they meet up with I can think of his
Bill
name.
Paxton.
Bill Paxton, and for whatever reason, he decides that he wants to.
Matt Owens. That's his
Get
character's
the
name.
bounty.
His name is Matt, and he wants to
Matto.
get the bounty. He just magically thinks there's a bounty for the android.
I think they said something in the cantina about they captured a murderer and there's a bounty on his head, and that's
They
how
need
he
to
gets the
say-
idea.
So,
yeah.
so Bill Paxton's like, yes, I am going to get this android guy and cash in, and then it just kind of goes downhill from
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
What else
I
wanna
know. I
say?
can't. You explained it well. I
mean,
it was tough.
there's a lot of wind, some kind of wind,
There
something
was
going
wind,
on.
but there was,
But there's like it starts out as a chase movie, but then somewhere in the middle, it just kind of gets really muddled and turns into this.
Yeah, they find like a bunk. Is it a bunker?
Yeah, it's
with
kinda like a bunker.
Museum in it
Yeah, these
with
are-
rich people.
Yeah, they're
and-
like holdouts after the after
Yeah.
the apocalypse has happened.
Yup.
After this.
The slipstream,
After
the convergence.
Slipstream.
We said slam stream.
very windy slam stream.
I think Sasha put it best is that it looked like they were trying to be whimsical, and they just didn't achieve that at all.
It was very much like Blade Runner
Yeah.
meets like a Star
Wild
Warsian
orchestras.
concept. like a water world, but on land.
Right.
It's like they
Yeah, I
took
can see
Road
that.
Warrior and Blade Runner and tried to make it
Yeah.
into a good movie, but they just
And
they
did
didn't
not.
set the world at all. They didn't tell you what world you were in. I
Yeah.
think that was the biggest issue.
It was hardly a
Kind of just
plot,
threw you
yeah.
into it, and it wasn't one of those ones where they threw you into a lot of action. They just kind of like threw you into, you're just kind of drowning the whole time trying to
There's a
figure
lot
out
of-
where you're at.
Yeah.
There's
But
a lot
anyway.
of hot air balloons and
That is a good thing to say. There was a
Yeah.
similarity between both movies, as hot air balloons were featured in both.
Right.
So that was a weird
That's
correlation.
yeah.
So okay, we got Slipstream. If you guys just want to give a brief rundown of what happened in your movie.
Inconsistent pirate wigs.
Yeah.
Shall I, Dan, or would you love to do
Go
this?
for it, dude.
Okay. Our movie, this beautiful The Mysterious Island, is first and foremost, look, it's actually been made a couple times. It's a Jules Verne story. And I do believe that it's the continuation of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, or it's just the same character, Captain Nemo. So you have a bunch of people in a prisoner of war camp, a Confederate prisoner of war camp in Virginia.
Yeah.
So follow the physics here. They're in Virginia. Then they break out of the prison, steal a hot air balloon, which is chilling there. It starts
Hot
to
air balloon from the 1860s.
from the
so-
1860s.
Yeah.
Yeah, an
It
observation
had
balloon.
unlimited fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no fuel source. It's just there.
Just hanging
They
out.
grab it. They start to float, which the guy, the main hero, thinks is west. However, they end up way over the ocean somewhere.
In like a
Like
day.
the Atlantic, yeah, they were, and then which later on in the movie he says we were quote we were blown thousands and thousands of miles.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense.
yeah, in a very short period of time, they were thrown half across the world, end up on this island, where they find Captain Nemo, who's just chilling there.
Who's played by
Who's played by the one and only Patrick
Yes.
Stewart.
the only shining light in this whole movie.
Yeah.
Only shining
And
light.
Cuba Gooding Jr.'s brother.
Yes, let's not forget that.
And
Snow dolls.
the girls, the one woman's like very low cut midriff.
Yeah, boobs.
Or,
I don't know her name.
not
but-
midriff.
Oh, I didn't
sorry.
notice that.
The rat meat sweats, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Patrick Stewart, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s brother, and this chick's super low neckline.
So they fly thousands of miles.
This hot air balloon crashed onto the island, and there's these beasts. There's these huge beasts on the island. Turns out there's what's called he calls it like
Thormon?
thorium or
Thorium?
thormium or something, where it's basically uranium.
Saruman?
They find out that Captain Nemo was basically built a nuclear bomb, and his whole genius plan is to detonate one of these to show the world the consequences of war, which he then claims will stop everyone from ever
Kill
fighting
everyone,
wars.
have no problem.
Yeah, logical,
And then
I guess.
Use
they
violence
say
to
no.
stop violence.
So then he's like, get out of my house. So even though there's like 5 of them and him and his butler,
Yeah,
they
they're the same age too. Just
yeah,
like
like
two
two old men.
The guy can't even walk. The
Yeah,
one
two,
hardly can walk.
two old
let
men,
alone fight.
and he's like, "Get out of my house." And they're like, "Oh, okay, fine," and they leave. And he has like a Jurassic Park kind of compound which
Yeah.
protects himself.
It's
And then there's
actually
like
the same props, I think.
there's like huge scorpions, ants, iguanas,
Praying
snakes,
mantises.
praying mantises.
Snakes, yep.
So, and then on the same time, there's a side plot developing where these pirates are trying to get Isabella's gold. Aye, mate. Literally, he talks to the guy pirates like, "Oh, we're going to get the gold."
This here is one half of the map to Isabella's gold. You tell me where the other half is, or you'll be dead in your boots. Isabella's gold. This here's the key to enormous wealth. Any man wants to be filthy rich. Sail with me.
It's like a poor man's Jason Statham on like steroids. So, however, we must point out this was part 1 of a 2-part television special. So,
Which
There
we
was
didn't realize.
commercial break, scene cuts.
We didn't realize going into it that it was a made-for-TV movie,
BBC
and that it was
special.
like 170 minutes long. So we couldn't bear to watch part 2. So
we didn't have time
we
anyway.
just called it on part 1.
Right.
so that's where part 1 ends. Is they're on the beach and they just kill the scorpion through the stupidest.
Scorpion killed itself.
The scorpion
Yeah.
killed itself. They tricked it into stabbing itself.
Did.
And now he's like, so they travel from the top of like the mountain range where Nemo's house is onto the beach, and then their leader proceeds to turn to the other people and say, "Let's go find high ground."
After they were
movie.
told that the beach is the safe area.
Yeah.
He's like, "Let's go find high ground." I'm like, you just had high ground, and it wasn't very safe. So that's where it ends, and it says
Yeah.
continued in part 2.
It's really good.
Thank you. All right. So Tell me why you think Slipstream is the better of the two movies we watched today. Can you give me some like examples of why?
Two words.
All right.
Yoga Mountain.
Can you explain Yoga Mountain for
Well,
us?
that is when the guy flies by, not once, but I think 3 times.
He couldn't get enough.
By through, it was like a window in a mountain.
Yeah.
And a girl was doing yoga. And then she realized a 3rd time that they were creeping around, and she closes a blind
On the mountain.
on the mountain. It was great, though.
Curtains on her cave.
Yeah, yeah. It was so good, though. And that sums up the movie.
Stop looking at me.
Stop staring at me. I'm doing naked yoga.
I moved to the mountain so you wouldn't see me.
So I moved to the mountain. What else?
It seems like that's Bill Paxton. It doesn't look like it's the first time he's been there.
Yeah.
That is
He
true.
kind of flies through Yoga
He
Mountain.
flew-
Like,
they
he
knew
flies
him.
He
around.
knew exactly where
They
he was.
knew where he knew where he's
Yeah.
going.
Why don't you describe the characters?
Yeah,
I
just
want
kinda
to
give
hear
us
this.
a little
Give
bit
us
about
the
the
characters. Let's
Okay,
hear
so
the famous names.
Bill Paxton. He was like the hippie.
Yeah. Like a smuggler.
He reminded
type
me like
character.
Bill and Ted. Like, but yeah,
He sold
he's
grenades.
sold grenades. He got busted by the
law.
Oh.
Well,
He's kind of a womanizer in this movie.
Yeah,
he gives the one girl the full Paxton.
yeah.
And then
Oh, he comes up behind the waitress and just like straight up gropes
Yeah,
her.
oh,
Roped
yeah,
her.
he's
I
just
forgot
straight
about
up
the
groped
Oh,
her.
yeah,
groping in the
let's
beginning.
reenact this. Let's reenact this. Ready? so he's like,
She's getting
he's like-
something prepared.
yeah, food at a restaurant. He's like, hey, maybe something goes like this. And then
And she just like that's it. Like
I
she
think
just
that's-
totally.
and she allows him.
Eggs.
She allowed it. She allowed it. She just like was like,
That's
Terrible.
Like, that's probably like
Terrible.
the first 2
Great.
minutes of the movie. Probably,
Yeah.
Just to kind of
So that's establishing your hero.
Right.
our hero right
so
there.
he's a good guy.
Total
He's a good
chauvinist.
guy.
Oh, go ahead.
He knows what he wants and he goes for
That's
it.
right.
Is that what you're gonna say?
Not, I didn't know if we wanted to get into Mark Hamill or not yet, or if you had some other questions.
So yeah,
So
going
he gets
to Mark,
around.
He gets around.
Kind of a
So tell us a little bit about
Slug.
Mark Hamill and his role in this movie.
So Mark Hamill is the bounty hunter. I believe his name is Tasker.
Tasker.
Yeah. Tasker.
So he is the bounty hunter.
Good
He,
name.
he has like a female companion that we'll talk about a little bit later on. But he is. It's actually a pretty cool character. I think if it would have been fleshed out a little bit more. But he's like got like
Right.
his like blonde hair is all dyed. He has a beard and everything like that. He looks pretty BA. But there's
Yeah.
not really much going on with his character other than he's kind of like a tough guy, and he will do anything to make sure that he brings the android in.
Right.
But-
How about his special weapon that he has that he uses a few times throughout the movie?
Oh, you mean the little
Desert Eagle.
You mean Desert Eagle or the
The poison
oh,
darts.
harpoon.
The grappling
The, har-
hook.
the
Oh,
grappling.
I forgot about the poison
He has,
dart.
like,
Poison darts, a harpoon, and a Desert Eagle.
Yeah.
He's like
Dirty
Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Very true. Yeah, but the grappling hook's pretty cool because he just grabs the android from like 50 feet away with
Shoots him through
Right.
the arm, which
Through
the
the arm.
wound never shows up again ever.
It's over! It's finished!
Just harpoon his arm, dude.
End of chase.
You're under arrest.
Yeah, and they never with the arrow or the dart, I should say, the dart.
Yeah. Tell us about the dart. What that plays in the story.
That was supposed to be like it was poisonous, right?
Mm-hmm.
The
Mark
whole
Hamill
movie-
shoots Bill Paxton with
Correct.
a poison dart.
Yes, and he kind of just blows it off, and then I feel like that's like the last we
No,
see of it
that
until the
blonde
very
chick,
end.
the blonde chick shoots
Yeah,
him.
like an
with
hour
Shoots
later.
an
Yeah.
antidote.
at the end, an hour later, she gives him an antidote. But it's really not really
Yeah.
even like he kind of like laughs it off like, oh, it's
No.
not even anything. And
Poison
then
in
later
my
on, she's like,
system.
Oh, yeah, she's like, oh, you were gonna die in like a day. But
Yeah.
there was no. He didn't.
It
there
was
no.
way more.
It didn't create
yeah.
any urgency for
No.
the film at all.
No one cared about it. They actually forgot about it, I think.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
That's why this movie sucks. This movie's terrible. 2/3 of the way in.
Let's come back to that. I want to hear a few points from you guys now about what made your movie good.
Oh, it was awesome.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Let's
I
hear
want
from
to
your
hear
side a
those,
little bit.
too.
Oh, I have notes. Pages and pages of notes. Okay.
Oh,
Pirates of the
amazing.
Caribbean meets
Yeah.
Days of Our Lives.
Oh, yeah. It was like a soap opera.
This is like a
My
King
grandma
Kong.
would love this.
No. This is like a King Kong meets Treasure Island. So two
Meets Days of
great
Our Lives.
meets Days of Our
Yeah,
Lives.
there's a lot of soap opera in there.
I mean, you have this prologue where you have pirates are trying to steal this treasure, and it's like an Ursula
Yeah, but
creature.
The pirates are only there for like 5 minutes
Yeah.
at a time, and it's like 3 times.
That's true.
And they're all Asian.
Huge creatures that eat people.
That-
I mean, you have some
yeah.
CG effects, which is
That was
awesome.
great.
The
It blew
big
my
animals,
mind.
Some of the
Blew
best
my mind.
CG I've seen.
rat meat sweats. They
Yeah.
capture this big, huge rat that's like the size of a
Yeah,
small
tell us the
horse.
story, that whole
Yeah.
incident with the rat.
Okay, so
They find water.
they find water, which they just
Eventually.
begin to splash on themselves, and then they're
Very
like,
sensual.
Yes.
oh yeah, the
Very
woman,
sensual.
like I said,
Very
that
sensual.
low
Her
cut,
chest,
that low cut
her
neckline.
chest got a little sweaty.
Yes, it did.
Need to cool down.
And then they
It was
found-
dehydrated.
They found the cave.
found the cave
where
and they find the medallion.
The original scene was the pirates
Yeah.
losing their medallion.
So they find a piece of this
to the
magic
creature beast.
treasure medallion. So then, Cuba Gooding Jr.
Junior.
Cuba Gooding's junior brother,
Right.
he sees
Snow Dog's
he sees a
amazing.
rat.
After
who-
the giant mosquito, but whatever.
Okay, so this yeah,
There's too many creature beasts.
Get this.
this chick
correct.
slaps down the mosquito, which is like the size of her torso. She just like ducks it and slaps it, and then dies.
Smacks it.
And then the younger girl who was the woman's daughter finds a medallion. Meanwhile, Cuba Gooding Jr. is like, "Oh look, there's a rat drinking. We need food."
I think it's afraid of
It's
us.
I think yeah.
It's
He's like,
afraid
look
of
at
us,
it. Even
yeah.
though it looks at him and like hisses at them,
Yeah, it
but he's like,
hisses.
I think it's afraid of us. He has this little stick that he sharpened with something, and he tries to throw a spear at it, but it goes like 3 feet and falls to the ground. The rat starts running, so he chases it,
Yep.
and him and the most annoying character in the history. Like,
I have to
oh,
get the high ground, you see.
there's this southern
He sounds
guy
like
who escapes with
Yosemite
them.
Sam.
Yeah, it sounds like
makes
he
no
was.
sense.
He was. If any of you have seen House of Cards, he's trying to go for like that like old
Aw.
timey like southern accent.
You do say.
Like
Good evening, gentlemen. I couldn't help but, over here. You're not planning an escape now, are you? What the hell was that? Huh? The official reason was an embezzlement, but I can assure you it was all a tragic misunderstanding. Oh my God! I do not want to die.
yeah, he's just like prissy. He's like C-3PO. He's just nonstop complaining. He's prissy and he's annoying. It's just like
The only one cool thing was the mustache. I will
yeah, and
give
he's
him
like
that.
super curly, like
Yeah.
cute mustache. So they go chase this rat across. Like they
The
showed
whole
him,
island.
Yeah,
Killed-
yeah,
island.
yeah.
Killed the
They,
rat,
they
but they
corner
turned
they
around.
corner the rat. So from me to you, he throws the spear at it,
Yeah.
and the rat ducks.
misses.
And then the whiny southern guy is like, oh no, throws the guy his own little spear, which is exactly the same. It's like this little like meter long stick. And then he's like, meh, throws it, spears the rat, which immediately falls into the ground and
Must
dies.
have been right to the heart. Apparently.
Yeah.
Immediate
Perfect
death.
shot.
Immediate death. Also, the rat was CG entirely. Like
Yeah, it was
they're-
Oh, everything was CG.
It was
all the
If it wasn't
creatures
a person, it was
all the
CG.
creatures were completely CG'd. Even like some of the wildlife, the huge
Yeah.
mushrooms were
the
CG'd.
mushroom. No, I think they were real. Were they real?
Like 20-foot tall mushrooms. Could have been a set piece. Anyway,
Good
so
soil.
they kill this rat instantly, and then
They
and
have
then
it on a spit, and they're
Yeah, so
chomping down. Everyone looks normal.
so they go back. They go back to the girl, and then all of a sudden, the next scene, like they're cooking this rat, and they have the rat sweats because everyone's profusely
Nobody else
sweating.
is really
Yeah.
sweating
The,
except
except
woman.
the girl, she got a little chest sweat.
Well, ultimately, like it's a story about how war sucks. The one thing I did realize, I'm like, because Jules Verne was what an author in the late 1800s. Like, when did he live?
you lost
check
me.
this.
You lost me
Something
on
like
book.
that.
Yeah, it was something around that time.
Like either late 1800s or early 1900s, I think. So, if he wrote a book that kind of touched on like nuclear weaponry and the idea of like, where Nemo says he's like, I want to make the consequence for war so intense that no one's gonna want to fight. That's kind of an idea that's been around since the nuclear age. But like, he dreamed up a weapon that was that powerful using like a substance that was basically radioactive, because like the creatures, he says, they grow that way because of this substance. So basically like radiation. If the man thought of that, genius. Like that's so the story is very genius.
So yes, Jules Verne
Yes,
is a
genius.
genius. However,
Yeah.
you are talking about this movie.
I'm just saying the story at its core. The story at its core is
They really
fantastic.
advertised pterodactyls, but they weren't in the first half. So.
No, that's true.
Anyway.
Wait, did they advertise
Anyway,
pterodactyls?
they
Where?
did in
They
the
were
beginning
all
of
over the menu and
the
the
menu,
front,
yeah.
and on the disc.
I didn't see one pterodactyl.
They're probably gonna have like
I hope
pterodactyls
they
fly,
ride them.
carry them around by their claws in the next half. Yeah, and you can edit in
So-
Jules Verne's birthday over top of it.
Well, yeah, we'll put that right here. Just
It's a big banner across my face.
yeah.
Birthday of Jules Verne.
Birthday.
So could you guys touch a little bit more on, you talked about the chase elements. They
Right.
go through, they're chasing down Bill Paxton. They hit him with the dart. They poison him.
Yes.
He has the android who has a bounty on his head. So
Yep.
Mark Hamill and his girl are chasing him down. It's like an action movie. And then
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden, halfway through the movie, it just stops.
Changes.
Everything just kind of slows down. What happens there?
It don't make any sense.
Well, I
but-
think the whole thing with this movie is that the convergence, which caused the slipstream, was because of technology.
That's right.
Ah.
Technology
So-
is evil.
Technology is evil. There's no
I feel
real
like we had
explanation or
another
anything
movie
like that.
like that.
We had a movie similar to
be.
that not too long ago. But anyway. This is where the plot changes with the Wind Cult, is that it ends up that they pick up a girl, like hot girl, and like
Yep.
and she ends up like they fix their plane, Bill Paxton's plane, and she flies in the back seat, and the android like holds on top because there's not enough room in the
yes.
plane.
That's
Upside
right.
down or something.
That's right. I forgot about that.
He's like a dog,
forget about
like sticking
that,
its
yeah.
head out the window. He's all like,
And so they fly for a while, and then they run out of gas or something.
and they crash. Is that where they crash
Yeah.
into the ground?
Yeah.
They crash, and that's when the plot just like the Wind Cult
changes.
The Wind Cult changes a little bit. When they crash, that's when it completely changes.
Kind of jumping backwards a
Yeah.
little bit, but remember the beginning of your movie when there's like a standoff and then they have guns pointing at each other, like
Right.
Bill Paxton and Mark Hamill,
Yeah.
they, like have guns, and all of a sudden like a plane comes out of nowhere
Hits 'em.
and hits Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
He
like
hits the plane. You got it backwards.
That's
He just like,
punches. He punches.
the wing flies off. He just like does a 180 and
pretty much because the plane he's like look out and bam, this
Slams
plane
right
hits
into him
and he just is like
took
bam.
care of it.
He's like a beast because the plane does nothing to him.
just like forearms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great. I did forget about that. That was after the groping.
yeah, yeah, right after the groping.
You know, reminds me of this girl I used to know. Great chest. Still dream about her.
Just so we can talk about it, I just wanted you guys to talk about the ant scene, the battle with the ant. You only briefly mentioned what happens with that. I just want to hear kind of in detail what happened with that whole fight scene.
Okay, so this ant comes out. Yeah, this ant is enormous. This ant is probably the size of like a brontosaurus in terms of like with just body, like his core body. Obviously, he has no huge neck, but he's enormous, right? So it's like the size of it's like a trailer, like a tractor trailer. Trailer is the ant.
Chomping.
So this thing is like he comes in at that night, like he corners the girl, he corners the woman, and she backs up against a tree and doesn't run around the tree to hide. She just backs up against the tree. So he's like trying to bite at her, and she's like
It's just like
ducking, yeah,
Yeah.
with his
Going
big
real
mouth.
close.
around her.
And then Cuba Gooding Jr. and like Southern style come over, and they're trying,
You don't say.
they're trying to like fight this thing. So they have. Well, she has a torch at first, and the ant knocks
She's
it out of
like,
her hand. It knocks it out of her hand. Cuba Gooding Jr. grabs it. He's trying to swing at it. That doesn't work. So he's like throwing rocks at it. So
Yeah.
it turns. He like Jeff Goldblum's it in Jurassic Park. He's like, "Hey, over here!" like, waving his arms. So it goes after him. She grabs the torch. As it's like fighting, it's cornering Cuba Gooding Jr. So she comes up behind it and like sticks the torch up its butt, like its thorax.
Up the butt.
And apparently there was enough oxygen in its hind end
Yeah.
to
hide
stoke the
it.
flames. Because all of a sudden it started glowing from the
Yeah.
inside. And then it fell over. And there he is
Right?
with his like.
But then you
potato
realize,
gun.
then you realize that I was actually Patrick Stewart who killed it with his potato gun.
With his big potato.
And I do have to
It
point out
just
that
looks
Patrick
like a
Stewart
PVC pipe that's
Patrick
painted.
Stewart is dressed like
They look
like an
yeah.
Indian
Yeah.
like
He's the
Shah.
love guru.
Dalai Lama.
Yeah. Well, he has this like
No
nice
beard,
little
though.
head
Very
wrap.
handsome.
He has like a
They make a
head
great
wrap.
couple.
He has like this flowing robe and like a head wrap. It's so just like
And you-
like
yeah.
you know Arabia circa like 1100 AD. It's
Right.
super cool.
My name is Nemo. And this is Joseph. Welcome to my island.
Mark Hamill is the only one that's like a outright murderer.
Yeah.
Because actually, I was just thinking about this because there's one part in the movie where there are the characters that he goes and that Bill Paxton's character like goes and takes a bath with these people basically.
Yeah.
Not really,
Yeah,
but
the lobster dude.
the lobster
Yeah,
people
those
like
are
they're
good.
like
They're
in
like
both
both movies.
Big
There was
lobster,
lobsters,
yeah, and
hot air
balloons,
balloons.
yeah.
Amazing.
And water. That's not very significant.
that's
There's
what
a
always
sign.
connects.
But yes,
There's a connection to between these.
yes,
two.
Aaron, tell us more about these lobster people.
So like they're in this giant like it looks like a hot tub, but it looks like a I don't know.
It
like
was a bathing. It was
just
they were
communal bathing.
Communal
Yeah.
bathing.
Communal
kind of eating and
Hell's
bathing at
Kitchen.
the same time.
Yeah.
And Bill
Communal
Paxton sees
bathing.
them. They're like friends of his,
Yeah.
vaguely. And then later on, those same people are like out in the forest in like a
Hunting.
Caravan.
or something, and Mark Hamill basically like gets the jump on them and murders them all.
Yep.
But like, there's no.
But we don't
Stand.
see the murder. We just see
He's like, the more of them buried in stone, the
yeah,
better.
thrown stones over their faces.
He's
He's like, you're all under arrest, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh, isn't that so? Show them what we got, boys.
Yeah.
And then like, there's a little bit of shooting, and then they're all dead.
It's
They're
like
dead.
pew pew, and you don't see anything, and
Mark
then they're all
Hamill
dead.
like lays down and keeps shooting.
Yeah.
Like, how's that?
Like he's
And
like
his-
laying
and his
like all
sidekick-
comfortably.
His sidekick, well, his sidekick, like
that was Luke
his
Skywalker.
side chick is like sliding down the rock,
Yeah.
like shooting as she's sliding.
Yeah, he's just
Yeah,
chilling.
You don't see anyone get hit,
Yeah,
and then after they're burying people, you don't see the big guy that was talking,
Yeah.
to him,
Yeah,
and you don't
what
see the
happened
little
to the
kid.
kid?
The
and the
Lobster
big guy.
Steamboat guy.
Yeah,
They
the-
don't show him.
the
that.
baby.
So basically, but the thing
But
is
he
that
kills
doesn't
them all.
that doesn't move the plot along.
No, not
like
at all.
literally, Mark Hamill just murders these people for no
For-
reason.
No,
Yeah.
no reason.
Well,
and then
they-
after that, he
they are-
reveals
Putting them
he's
in
reading.
the film, they had no use for him.
They-
So they got rid of him.
And
They are
after
smugglers.
After he murders the smuggler
Oh, yeah.
lobster people, it's revealed that he's reading like the Bible
Yeah.
or something like
Makes
that.
sense.
Yeah, it's so random. Like you said, it's like
yeah.
they didn't take time to really read the script and be like, "Wow, none of this makes any sense."
Mark
Yeah,
Hamill
that's
is
just-
like one from
Yeah.
Warriors of the Wasteland. He hates people. He wants to kill
That was
everybody.
a good movie.
He quotes like vague lines
It's
from like
sad when these
historical
movies make you
teachings.
miss that.
Yeah, I
movie.
missed that other one.
and
These are
and
bad.
and Mark Hamill also
like my
gets,
brain is trying to get him out of my.
and Mark Hamill
head.
also there's also a
Trying
scene
to get him out of your brain.
I don't know. I lost it, man.
also the way Mark Hamill is like one from Warriors of the Wasteland is there is a scene of him in his vehicle,
Yeah.
and the guy is behind him crawling in.
Oh,
yes.
to get
Oh, I
his
forgot about
revenge.
that.
Before you,
That's what he
yeah,
does.
please, one of you, please describe the ending of your movie because it is amazing. Like, it is pretty funny. That was probably the best part of the movie.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So they go to like this place. It's like a kind of like a bomb shelter sort of area with their girlfriend, so to speak. And I guess they end up finding
It's
them.
like a BioShock vault.
Yeah.
It's like Fallout and BioShock.
But it's like nice.
It's very nice, and
Yeah.
everybody's like
Yeah.
has their like champagne and things like that. It ends up that Mark Hamill's character comes in and shoots a bunch of people up.
In a 5-second
Yeah.
scene where he's
Like,
just
if you
walking
blink,
through
you
bodies.
missed it.
Yeah,
Like,
like literally,
there's,
it's like Mark Hamill walking through bodies.
Yeah.
And there's really not much action, just basically there's just bodies everywhere.
Yeah.
And
He,
then,
he does pistol whip F. Murray Abraham.
well, what can you say? And then
You get F. Murray for
Yeah.
doing that to Mozart.
He deserved
Prick.
it.
And then then basically what happens is that there's a shootout, and the android had fallen in love sort of with this one girl.
With the redhead.
Yeah.
And Mark
In the
Hamill's-
jungle.
In the jungle.
The
it
jungle
was
sex
like-
scene
Yup.
where
That
he
became-
purrs, he roars like a
He
jaguar.
roars.
That became the overarching story then after the chase is that the android starts to get feelings and fall in love.
He dreams, and he's able
dreams,
to
yeah.
fall asleep, so he's
Yeah.
turning human
Right.
almost.
So yeah,
Gunfight.
Yeah.
And then at that point, she gets shot, and
the android's girlfriend.
the android's girlfriend gets shot, and then I don't even remember how Mark Hamill was flying or going to be flying away.
Well, he shoots her and then makes an escape.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Come with me to the android" or
Well,
something.
the android is jumping in front of between the gunfire. Like,
Yeah.
So he's
No.
like trying to stop both
Oh,
of
he
them.
chased
That's right.
them.
I'm sorry. Yes. Remember, there's an open field,
Yeah,
and you're like,
he's
"Wow, this is
walking.
going to be a really
This is
long
because he's
scene."
way far
Yeah, so
away.
I did from there.
There's like an open field, and it's literally like hundreds of yards away,
Yeah.
and the android is walking up to Mark Hamill, and you're just like, okay,
Gets
well,
a rifle out of his
Yeah.
plane, shoots at him.
Once,
And then he
shoots him once.
And then he drives the plane
Towards him.
and
In like a
and
chicken
somehow,
situation.
yeah, and like coming at him, and somehow jumps over the the front of the plane, slides into like the engine, I guess that would be.
Which is like
which
like
is
2.5 feet long.
Very small.
and it would never fit. It looks like a whole room. It looks
full
like
of
this
wires.
room.
It's not
So
that
he's
big.
like ripping out wires and like
Yeah.
and like
It's
continues
off a jet
ripping
engine.
stuff out, and then
He jumps straight into a turbine.
Yeah.
And then he
Sucks up in
ripping
it.
up wires.
ripping up wires.
Mark Hamill's just like,
And
oh,
then
no.
he comes to the
the rear.
through the back of it,
Yeah.
and rips through the cage to what did he do? He like kind of
starts-
felt guilty
he
about
starts,
it.
He starts ripping up the cockpit compartment.
Yeah, and then
Like,
he like
smashes the
takes
guitar
the
amp,
wires
it's fine.
And then
No, but
Mark
Mark-
Hamill reaches out and grabs his
and he
face.
quotes something.
And
He says,
he quotes Lord
"God-
Byron.
Yeah,
I've
I
seen something.
I've touched the hand.
And-
I've reached out and touched the face of God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then Nat
And
was
calms
like
him
got him
down.
all like sensitive about the situation, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna try to save us now."
So he grabs
So
the
he
cables.
takes the cables from like the wheel and like the red and green, puts it together or something, and like pulling back on it, and it like
Brings the plane up.
trying to bring the plane up, but
and
it's,
Mark Hamill's like,
yeah,
we're gonna make it.
we're gonna make
You're
it.
gonna
And
do
as he
it.
Come on, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it.
It's not even a close call. It's,
it's
straight
great.
up into a
Yeah, he did not.
Straight into it. And so Mark Hamill is toast, and the android
Right.
actually survives that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty easily. He's just
Easily.
got some burnt
His clothes are ripped
He's,
apart.
a little
bit.
ripped, but it's all right.
And that's when he walks up to Bill Paxton at the end, or no,
Yeah.
he's on a waterfall.
Yes, and he sees him, and they go their separate ways, right? Because that's when he says, "Well, the girl, you see the girl there
And
too."
she says, she's like,
And-
don't worry, we'll go visit.
Yeah,
him."
and then he turns to her and he says,
That's exactly what he says. That's what he was thinking.
"There goes my best friend."
That's my job.
And then she says, "That's my job."
Implying that she is his best friend, even though they have no friendship. He
They have
basically
no-
tries
they
to
had-
sexually assault her a couple
Yes,
times.
But it's
it
the
worked though, didn't it?
We're gonna make it.
Both were terrible, but to like wrap it up here, so I can kind of pick a winner on this.
Oh,
If you could just try and summarize the one shining moment, it can be a character, it can be an actor, it can be a performance, it could be a scene, it could be a prop, anything that you find that just makes your movie that much more bearable than the other movie. If you guys want to go first, you can take a second, think about it.
well, I think our movie
I know
was
exactly the same for theirs.
a couple scenes, I guess.
Okay.
The ending I liked
You
when
liked the
when he did jump into the
That was good.
and then like let it as he said that it was kind of like funny how like he was like, yeah, you're gonna do this, we're gonna live, and then they like as like it like rolled off his tongue, they slam right into the you know, and then the one character, the Bill and Ted character, I forget the names. It was such a good movie.
Yeah.
I liked him too because he was like his like one-liners like where he just sounded like he was stoned all the time. I thought that was
You're
great.
kind of. I bet you're one of those guys that pisses or gets out of the
Yes.
shower to take a piss or something.
Gets out of the
Game over,
shower
man.
to take a
Game
piss.
over.
Yeah, it was just good stuff like that.
Yeah.
What do you think?
He's just always getting offended.
Yeah, there was a lot of anger issues.
A lot of anger issues. Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
the thing about this movie, there's just so much to kind of talk about.
Yeah.
I don't know if I really have much more to say though.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Good closing arguments, guys. Do you have anything you want to say
Oh my
as the
gosh.
shining moments of your movie, the things that made your movie stand out?
2 words. Patrick Stewart. Star power.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey,
Star power.
he was
Okay?
good. I mean, he
He was
good.
He always is good.
He's
but
always good.
How about the giant
Like,
lobsters? That's
in-
pretty cool.
Well, yeah, like you're on like this great location, but you have Patrick Stewart, like
Yeah.
who turns in a great performance. Like he is enjoyable as like the cranky old Captain.
I could
Nemo.
just hear his voice and
Yeah, and he just
be
talks
fine.
and like
Yeah.
he totally like destroys Kyle McLachlan and all these other people. But like you also have the girl from Burn Notice, great show.
Yeah.
Low cut neckline. She
Oh, I remember now.
That was
She's
one of the
actually-
stronger points of the movie.
That was.
her low cut
And
neckline.
Cupid's brother was like
But-
a better actor than him.
What's funny is
Yeah.
like throughout the movie, her neckline goes up. Like it proceeds to like go higher. So
Yeah.
in most
it gets
movies,
civilized.
most movies
It
it
goes
like
down.
most movies
Yeah.
it goes
Go
down.
lower, yeah.
Right.
All these like they're these fun characters,
Mm-hmm.
but Patrick Stewart to me just takes it because his performance, like he shows up no matter what. Like Patrick Stewart's been on some bad movies.
Yeah.
Even okay, now I'm gonna upset Trek fans, but like even like on Trek, like he's
Oh, don't diss Picard.
Oh, whoa.
Oh,
no, that's like Patrick Stewart
The
is.
comments that are about to come.
no.
Here we go.
No.
Here's my incendiary remarks. Picard is right. Patrick Stewart is the king. He is the emperor of like B movie actors. Like in a lot of movies, he's like the king. He's like the lord of B movie
I
actors.
don't know. There's some pretty notorious B movie actors out there.
No, but like that. Like
What about
he's-
like Bruce Campbell? or
He's
something
like,
Yeah,
well,
but-
see, like, but the thing is, like, Stewart is like,
His
he's
role was done well.
he's good enough.
Yes.
Like, he's good enough that when he is in a movie like the X-Men, he turns in a great performance. But like, I've seen movies where I'm like, okay, this is a B movie, and he always shows up. Like, he always gives you an A- performance.
He's actually
in a,
trying.
Yeah, whether he's in a C
that
movie,
makes it
whether he's in a
better.
D, yeah, whether
Yeah.
he's in a D, C, or B movie, he gives you an A- performance. So like, he's in a lot of B movies. But
he does
or
his
D
best.
movies,
Yeah.
but he always shows up. He always gives you 100%.
Because even in this movie,
I agree with
it's
that.
not a movie. It's a TV series.
Yeah,
TV
let's not
Any-
forget
There
this
was
is
commercial
a
scene
this is
cuts.
on the Hallmark
Yeah.
Channel.
every actor in this was absolutely terrible,
Yeah.
except for Patrick Stewart, who actually
Yeah.
when he was talking, I was like, oh, it's
Yeah.
a movie. I
And
was
the
actually
Yes, this is actually a movie.
Gabrielle, okay, her name's
And he's like
Gabrielle.
100 years old, and
Yeah,
he
he's-
still looks like
he looks great.
looks great.
20.
Okay, Gabrielle Awar, who's a chick, she wasn't that bad. She had bad, like everyone had
She
bad.
didn't have any lines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone had bad lines, but she did
need 'em.
okay. She, she just needed to.
She wasn't there to talk.
She just had to glisten.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
She was there to
He was
glisten.
there to
yeah.
say it.
Basically.
Make it rain
so
again.
so your closing argument is just Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart turns in an A- performance in a movie that, like, literally is you could give it a D- or an F, and he turns.
I got what you're saying.
he turns
I,
in a
I got what you're
he turns
saying.
in a solid like A-.
Yeah.
Closing argument. Patrick Stewart. All you need to know.
So we've got the B movie bag
Best
was not
movie.
kind
No.
to us today.
No, you should have picked them
It was-
for us again.
I'm not gonna lie.
Honestly, yeah, like that was the B movie bag really did a number on us. It brought its A game
I actually-
in terms of the worst movies ever because
Brought
they
us
were
D
unbearable.
game.
Yes.
So to break it down, we have a very hard to follow, very tough to get through movie that's just really boring,
Yeah.
and very incoherent.
Yeah.
Right.
Followed by possibly one of the worst things ever put on DVD.
It wasn't widescreen.
It was so. It was on widescreen.
At least you could see the whole frame.
They were both very bad.
Yeah.
Both terrible movies. We had a hard time getting through these movies today. It was work, but we
Yeah.
made it.
It was tough.
And based on the arguments, and you guys surprisingly did get me with some. Patrick Stewart did do a really good job. He was very good. However, I don't think it's enough to topple. Even just that end scene
Of
where
the
he
running
jumps
into
through
the-
a turbine
Yeah.
and is ripping up wires, and the whole scene, the ending scene is amazing. And there is like just some funny moments, like you said, with Bill Paxton. He gives some good one-liners, and his acting is totally inconsistent with
That's
everybody
my
else in the
best
movie.
friend.
I think I'm gonna have to go with the 1989 Slipstream again.
Yes.
Well, not again, but just going with this one.
Going downstream.
It,
Real turbo.
I actually didn't hate myself watching this movie, whereas this one, as soon as it started, I was like, I'm so angry that I even put this in the bag. Like, it was just bad, and that's not your guys' fault. You had the hardest fight today,
We did.
and it didn't come on top. So, you guys get the win.
Man, I'm 0 for 2.
Booyah.
I'm 0 2.
So,
You're
good
you're
job,
2-0. Aaron's
Oh,
1-1.
nice.
You're 1-1. I'm 0-2.
Guess I'm winning.
Good job, guys.
Terrible
You
movies.
guys brought
I
it.
literally-
Despite 2 very bad movies, you guys both did. All of you did a good job. So join us again for the next episode of B Movie Battles. We'll see you later.
NC.
Good job.
I'm sorry. I didn't even.
Here, let's shoot close-ups.
That was like.
Yeah.
That was like tough.
That was a hard one. I'll make sure it's better movies
I
next
literally
time.
wanted to kill